Mr. Clerk, we are reporting out of closed session with two items. First item,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Council reporting out of closed session. The first item is to receive the report and that confidential direction to staff be confirmed.
someone like to move that? Councillor Gallo, Councillor Kim, what's questions? Board of vote?
Recorded vote has been requested for the first item of council reporting out of closed session. Councillor Gallo, how do you vote? Councillor Gallo votes yes. Councillor Gilliland? Councillor Gilliland votes yes. Councillor Weiss? Councillor Weiss votes yes. Councillor Kim? Councillor Kim votes yes. Mayor Maracus?
Yes.
Councillor Gartner was absent. Councillor Thompson?
Yes.
Councillor Thompson votes yes. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Item number two.
The motion for the second item of council reporting out of closed session is to receive the report and that confidential direction to staff be confirmed.
Someone like to move that? Councillor Weiss, Councillor Gilliland, board of vote?
Recorded vote has been requested for the second item of council reporting out of closed session. Councillor Thompson, how do you vote? Councillor Thompson votes yes. Councillor Gartner was absent. Mayor Maracus?
Yes.
Councillor Gallo? Councillor Gallo votes yes. Councillor Gilliland? Councillor Gilliland votes yes. Councillor Kim? Councillor Kim votes yes. And Councillor Weiss? Councillor Weiss votes yes. Motion carries.
Mr. Clerk, confirm bylaw. Someone like to move that? Councillor Gallo, Councillor Weiss, all those in favor? Opposed, that carries. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Thompson, Councillor Kim, all those in favor? Opposed, that carries. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, time is 7:02. I'm going to call this council meeting to order. The town of Aurora acknowledges that the Anishinaabe lands on which we live and work are the traditional and treaty territory of the Chippewas of Georgina Island, as well as many other nations whose presence here continues to this day. As the closest First Nation community to Aurora, we recognize the special relationship the Chippewas have with the lands and waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands, and as a municipality, we join them in these responsibilities. We further acknowledge that Aurora is part of the treaty lands of the Mississaugas and Chippewas recognized through Treaty Number 13, as well as the Williams Treaties of 1923. A shared understanding of the rich cultural heritage that has existed for centuries and how our collective past brought us to where we are today will help us walk together into a better future. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Councillor Gilliland, Councillor Kim, comments or questions? Call a vote. Councillor Gartner. Councillor Gartner's yes. That carries. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. We have three community presentations. First up is 5.1, Doug Robertson, President, and Jillian Lemmond, Sales Pine Tree Potters Guild, regarding presentation to council for Aurora Town Square. Welcome.
And I'm the retiring president of Pine Tree Potters Guild. And this is Jillian Lemmond, the maker of this beautiful platter. Thank you for giving us a few moments today to speak with you. Jillian, I understand this platter that you have made has a long history already, although this is the first time that you'll see it. Can you tell us a bit about how you made this and the struggles you had with making pottery in general?
Well, this platter is actually attempt number 6. When I was first approached to make this platter, I thought, yeah, that'd be great. No problem. I can do that. But the universe said, Jillian, we're going to give you a big opportunity to check your ego. So the first one, bigger, just as nice, cracked in the final firing, right through the middle. The next one, cracked while I was carving it. The next one got bumped on the shelves and the edge fell. The next one, it was on and on. Anyway, finally got there. The process, throw the platter on the wheel, let it dry for a few days so that it's firm enough to flip over, trim out the inside to leave the nice foot ring, and carve out the logo, which I used a crick cut to make from a picture online. And then inlay the underglaze, fire it. That's called the bisque firing, the first one. Then glaze the white over top and fire it again. And then do your wiring and the little logo on the back. It was a fun process when I finally got there. You'd think with all my experience starting at 15 years old, 14 years old, that it would have been a really quick, easy job. But like I said, the universe had a different plan. It's here, and I'm really grateful to the town of Aurora for the opportunity. And I'm very pleased to present this with Doug on behalf of the Pine Tree Potters Guild to the town of Aurora.
And thank you. And I'd like to give this platter to Phil Rose.
Where is he?
There he is. We met him a few minutes ago. Cultural Services and the town of Aurora in celebration of Aurora Town Square. We and the members of Pine Tree Potters, many sitting here in the rows, have appreciated our tenure here with the town of Aurora and look forward to continuing partnerships with the Aurora Cultural Center. I'd say, and thank you and good evening. So we walk in here.
Yeah, don't drop that, Phil. All right. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. There might be some questions for you. Can I get a motion to receive presentation? Councillor Thompson, Councillor Kim, Councillor Weiss, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to thank Doug and Jillian for coming. And I was sitting here as she was flailing around with this thing and said, just get it out of my hands, please. And I'm glad you got that done. So thanks very much for the gift. It's something that will be treasured and put someplace very appropriate over at Town Square. Thanks very much.
Yep. Councillor Garner.
Through Mr. Mayor, thank you everyone for coming and your many, many years of service to Aurora, including the Empty Bowls, which was a phenomenal success and unfortunately is no longer at the town. But it was a great pleasure to see you all here tonight, and I sincerely thank you.
Any other comments, questions? None. Thank you for coming this evening. Lovely gift. We really do appreciate it. It's I think it's gonna display very well. I'm sure Phil's gonna find a great spot within Town Square to put that up. We'll make sure that it never falls, right, Phil? Correct. But no, thank you very much. I mean, obviously, as was mentioned, you guys do a lot of work within the town, and we really do appreciate the work that you do. And it's always great to see you guys come out and come here into the chamber. So thank you very much for everything that you do. Call the vote. Carries. Next, we have Recreation and Healthy Active Living Leadership Course students regarding the PLF 4M Winter 2025 course. Welcome.
Mayor, members of council, and town staff. My name is Leah. I'm in grade 11 and I'm currently enrolled in the Recreation and Healthy Active Living Leadership course. My growth and confidence was the best thing I gained from the course through a variety of leadership opportunities and team-based activities. I've become more comfortable expressing my thoughts and taking initiative. This course offers a high-level introduction to leadership principles through physical activity, recreation, and community engagement. With a focus on improving collaboration and communication skills, it provides students with the tools they need to become confident and capable leaders both in and outside the classroom. Our class consists of only 5 students and it's girls only. This all-girls environment creates a safe and supportive atmosphere where everyone feels comfortable stepping out of their comfort zone and finding their voice. When asked to describe the course in 3 words, our class chose empowering, leadership development, and fun/collaborative. These words perfectly capture what makes this course so impactful. It's not only about learning leadership strategies, it's about building a strong sense of community, supporting each other's goals, and discovering our own potentials in a meaningful way.
My name is Sierra, and I'm a grade 11 student in the Recreation and Healthy Active Living Leadership course. This course is important as it gave me the chance to discover what leadership is like in everyday life through hands-on experience. We learned how to plan events, support each other, and be in leadership roles. It also helped us grow skills and learn to be confident, take up space, and not be afraid to speak up. One of the main parts of this course that made it so supportive was the female identifying only space that was created. Having that space made it easier to take risks, build confidence, and try new things without the worry of judgment. There, we were encouraged to be ourselves, speak up, and take risks that allowed us to grow. Finally, this course taught us valuable leadership skills that I will continue to use, and that we not only belong in leadership skills or leadership roles, but that we are more than capable of succeeding in them.
My name is Jane, and I'm a grade 11 student in the leadership course. We had the opportunity to earn several certifications that really helped us grow as leaders. We completed 2 NCCP courses, making ethical decisions and fundamental movement skills. These taught us how to handle challenging situations in a fair and thoughtful way, and how to support the development of basic physical skills in children through safe, inclusive activities. We also earned 2 high-five certifications, Principles of Healthy Child Development and Strengthening Children's Mental Health. These gave us a better understanding of how to support the overall well-being of kids, both physically and emotionally. We learned how important it is to create environments where children feel safe, respected, and included. On top of that, we earned our Level C First Aid and CPR certification, which prepared us to stay calm and take action in emergency situations. We also attended a women's sport luncheon, which was incredibly inspiring and empowering. Hearing from female athletes and leaders made me feel proud and motivated to keep pushing boundaries and support others, especially young girls, in finding their place in sports and leadership. All of these experiences taught me valuable skills that I'll carry with me into future leadership roles, and they've helped me feel more confident and prepared to make a positive impact, especially when working with the youth.
My name is Ashlyn. I am a grade 11 student. This year, I took the Girls Only Recreation and Healthy Active Living Leadership course. This program gave me much more than I expected. Earning certifications like CPR, first aid, and coaching qualifications have made me feel more confident, not just in my resume, but in how I contribute to my community. More than that, having a girls-only environment was something I didn't realize I needed. It gave me the space to learn and grow at my own pace without pressure to compete or prove myself. Instead, we focused on supporting one another and genuinely enjoying what we were doing. There aren't many programs that offer both professional skills and a supportive, empowering space for young women. This course does. To continue to support this course in the future, eliminating financial costs would allow more young women to engage in these opportunities, therefore making it accessible to all. Please keep this course going for all the girls who haven't had their chance yet. Thank you.
So can I get a motion to receive? Councillor Thompson, Councillor Gillian, any questions? Councillor Gardner.
Well, it sounds like this was a very successful course for you. I'm glad you got an opportunity to take it. Is this open to all Aurora high schools? I should be asking Haley.
Haley?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, this is open to any female identified individuals, priority given to Aurora high school students. And if there is leftover room, then yes, we will accept anybody from York region.
Councillor.
Thank you. And how many ladies does the course accept?
16 per course.
16. And how many courses have we had?
This is our third.
Councillor.
Oh,
Yes.
very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Gillen.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks so much for coming up and speaking today. You ladies all spoke very lovely. I could hear the confidence in your voice, and I can hear all the great things that you have been focusing on and growing as a young female entrepreneur, young woman, coming from high school and leading into the world. I'm so grateful that we have this program here to lift each other up as women in the workforce and just as women in general. So I really do applaud the effort, and hopefully we'll get more and more young, inspiring young women like you to come forward and participate. So thanks so much for being here today and saying those words. It's very inspirational.
Councillor Weiss.
Yes, thank you. And through you, Mayor. I know the people who trained you and how well they have done that job. My real question is, what's next? Any of you want to tell us what the next step is for you now that you're trained, you're certified, and you're ready to get out there? There we go.
So what we do after is we can apply for positions, or it makes it more easier to apply for positions like camp counselors or just like lifeguards, as we already have the training to do that. So like CPR, we already have those connections too.
I heard words like confidence and taking risks, and I know it's a risk coming out here tonight just to talk in front of a bunch of people. So I want to thank you and applaud for you to do that. And again, I heard the word motivation. So good luck with what you're going into next. Thanks to everybody for helping out with you.
Councillor Gardner, second time.
So I was so busy asking about the program, I didn't take the opportunity to be so proud of you. And I think Councillor Gillian has said it all. And congratulations. And I hope some of you will become lifeguards, because Aurora is really short on lifeguards. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Sure, Haley, go ahead.
When we're done, we would like to request a photo with our students, as well as all of you around the table. Directors and town staff are invited to take a photo as well.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, ladies, thank you very much for coming this evening. I do want to say thanks to Haley as well for all the work that she does, and as well as the volunteers and sponsors that help support this program and this course. It is a great course, and I forget which one of you said that. I think it was you said that. Make sure that we continue this course, and we will definitely make sure that we continue this course, because I think it's vitally important that we do this, and it's great to see such inspiration coming from young females in our community to not only inspire yourself to be phenomenal leaders as you continue to grow up, but also to inspire the younger girls that are coming up to aspire to be great leaders in our community as well. So thank you, and thank you everyone for that. So I'll call the vote. That carries, and if everyone can jump into the center for a photo. So next, we have Miranda Link and the Youth Engagement Committee regarding Youth Engagement Committee presentation.
My name's Sparrow. This is Miranda here with me, and we are the Town of Aurora's youth team. We have the honor today to introduce some pretty exceptional youth who represent our Youth Engagement Council.
Good evening, Mayor Maracas, esteemed councillors, and town council members. I'm delighted to see some familiar faces from last night's Community Recognition Awards ceremony. My name is Naya, and I'm honored to stand before you and would like to thank you for your time today. Along with Anton, Ayana, Charles, Dabria, Jaden, Jessica, Leah, Rena, Serena, and Stella, we form the Town of Aurora's Youth Engagement Committee. Our group of 11 represents 4 schools across York Region, including St. Maximilian Kolbe Catholic High School, G.W. Williams, Country Day School, and Renaissance. We amplify the voices of Aurora's youth through our collaboration with our extraordinary mentors, Miranda and Sparrow. In our biweekly meetings, we address pressing issues related to Aurorans aged 12 to 17 by implementing events and initiatives to enrich the youth's upbringing. Tonight, we present to you how the YEC has fostered leadership, youth participation, and community involvement in this 2024-2025 term.
Youth involvement in Aurora began in 1995 with a short-lived subcommittee, followed by a major student survey in 1996 that led to the creation of the Youth Advisory Committee. That group helped shape youth programming, ran events, and contributed to the development of the Aurora Youth Center, now known as the Loft. But by 2007, participation had declined, and the committee was disbanded. For a few years, youth involvement continued only through limited positions on other town committees. The real turning point came in 2014 when a group of teens from different schools came together and formally presented to town council. They made a strong case for bringing back a dedicated youth committee and succeeded. As a result, the Youth Engagement Committee was formed. Since then, the YEC has helped launch new teen events, supported the Loft, and ensured youth voices are a part of important local conversations. That 2014 moment is really what shaped the YEC we know today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leah. As for YEC sanctioned events during the 2024-2025 term, we have had great success bringing youth in Aurora together, and today I will be highlighting our most significant events. Firstly, we hosted a Halloween party in the Loft, as well as participated in the Aurora Haunted Forest, where we dressed as clowns and provided those walking along the trails of Shepherd's Bush with an exciting and frightening experience. We then kicked off December with our holiday cookie decorating event, followed by our youth skate night in February. More recently, we celebrated National Youth Week from May 1st to 7th with a series of exciting activities, including our flag raising ceremony, movie night, 3v3 basketball tournament, and youth takeover. Overall, these events truly built engagement within our community and brought together youth in Aurora to connect with others. I'm truly honored to have contributed to YEC's accomplishments this year, and I'm looking forward to next year's continued success.
This year, the YEC has truly grown in both reach and impact. Every year, every event, we aim to engage youth and provide them with a safe, fun space. The Haunted Forest was a huge success this year, as past members improved their setup, created more decorations, and engaged with more youth during the event. Besides this, the Youth Volunteer Fair was a large success with over 100 attendees. Many new participants learned about local volunteer opportunities and more information about the YEC. Finally, the Youth Skate Night completely changed this year as we used the outdoor skating rink at the Cultural Center, which is beautiful, by the way. The event was amazing with over 50 participants, a hot chocolate bar, and lots of fun skating. Seeing everyone have fun and step out of their comfort zone is what makes each event worth it.
Building on everything that's been said, one of our key steps has been surveying youth to gather input on a potential loft reset. This fact-finding process is helping us better understand what the youth in Aurora really want. We're also really excited about our upcoming events like the Teen Beach Party, which is happening on June 26th, and we hope to continue organizing fun, inclusive experience like this. We're even looking into planning youth field trips to build connection and engagement outside of our usual spaces like the community centers. Our goal is to create opportunities that build skills, offer safe spaces, and bring people together.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Dabria Petadragos, and it is a true privilege to deliver the concluding remarks of our presentation and to offer the final words from the Youth Engagement Committee this year. Serving on the Youth Engagement Committee as the co-president and being on the council for the past 3 years has been one of the most transformative experiences. I joined as a curious student, unsure of my place in this space, and I leave as a confident advocate, leader, and citizen of Aurora. This committee gave me more than a seat at the table. It gave me a voice, and more importantly, it taught me how to use it. From championing youth equity to pushing for representation and inclusion, I've seen firsthand how ideas become action when young people are trusted to lead. But I didn't just grow in skill, I grew in purpose. I found power in community, strength in service, and inspiration in the next generation of youth leaders I've had the privilege of mentoring. To every young person in Aurora, your voice is not too small and your ideas are not too bold. We need you, this town needs you, and I promise when you show up, change follows. To Council, thank you for creating space for youth leadership and giving us the freedom to pursue what we love. Your support helped me reach my full potential and played a defining role in me being honored with the 2024 Town of Aurora Youth Volunteer Award. If you're a young person wondering if your voice matters, this is your sign. Join the Youth Engagement Committee. Step up, speak out, and help shape the future of Aurora. The seat is waiting, and so is your impact. Thank you.
I'm going to get a motion to receive. Councillor Weiss, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Gallo.
Thank you. Wow, that was wonderful. Unbelievable. You're very much a true inspiration as well, just like the last group of young women. And we have this beautiful, wonderful, great youth engagement committee. And I remember some of you from previous years as well. So I'm glad to see there's other people here encouraging others to become a part of this. The line that stuck out for me was when you show up, change follows. That couldn't be further from the truth. Absolutely. So thank you for that little tidbit of knowledge to spread amongst the community to get people out to do that change. I did have one question. One of the presenters talked about a teen beach party, and this is kind of new to me. And I was wondering if maybe if you presented that, you could tell us a little bit about that and when it is, because it sounds like it's coming up pretty soon. And I just want to let everybody know.
Of course. So we first ran it last summer, around the same time of year, but it's a party for youth in Aurora and it's free. And we run it at the AFLC on the field there. And we have fun games, snacks, pizza, and it's just a great way to kick off the summer for the youth in Aurora. And it is happening on June 26th. And so if any of you would like to come out as well, be nice. I know it's just youth, but
no, that's great. What time is it at? And 4
p.m.
4 to 8. 4 to 8 p.m.
4 to 8.
Perfect. So 4 to 8 p.m. June 26th, and it's free.
Yes.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Councillor Gallo.
Thank you. I just wanted to offer my congratulations, and not that I'm surprised, but I have children myself, and there are days when I say to myself, "Man, I'm in big trouble," and then I look at this, and I say, and I see, hope. And I love my kids. Don't get me wrong, and they're great. But just to see this, the youth stand up and just show such leadership and commitment is inspiring. And I can't say enough of how wonderful it is to see this. I was part of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee in Mississauga when Mayor Hazel McCallion, and I know what it did for me growing up and the seeds that it planted to eventually sit here. So I hope to one day sit here, sit in the chambers, and maybe hopefully see one of you sitting in these chairs. Congratulations. Well done.
Councillor Kemp.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you guys for presenting. You guys look and sound and do a lot of awesome things. I certainly, when I was 17, was not in the same place as you are today, and that's great. You guys mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that you guys work on, you identify a few main issues surrounding youth. Can you walk me through one of those examples, and what do you guys do, once you identify it, to how do you bring it back to your respective schools? Is there a solution? Can you give me an example of what that looks like?
Abria?
Yeah, for sure. So I think a main issue we have and that we focus on is the lack of networking that youth are exposed to and the lack of leadership that youth are exposed to, especially in experiences and building that kind of resume and those leadership skills, which are vital in any career that you choose to partake in. So what the YEC really does is we find fun ways to engage youth, connect them so that they can create those relationships. But also what we do in our events is that we allow them the opportunity to build on those leadership skills in a fun way. That's what makes us so special, I would say. And then what we do to integrate that in our schools is we take us as the YEC and we bring it back and we spread the word, and we use our school networks to engage all of the youth in Aurora.
Councillor.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you. I'll just echo some of the comments of my colleagues. Truly outstanding job. I want to thank you for your efforts, your dedication, your passion. It's obvious. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors as our future leaders. And as Councillor Gallo mentioned, perhaps one day we'll see you on this side of the table as well.
Councillor Gardner, first one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's just wonderful to see you all here. And I know there are a few of you missing, so please extend my congratulations. My son was on the Youth Advisory Action Committee. It was nothing like this. This is a fantastic committee. Congratulations.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Sparrow, sure. Yeah.
But it would mean a lot to us if we could grab a picture with everyone.
Sure.
No, it would mean a lot to them. So thank you.
Sure. Before we do that, I'll just say, I've met a lot of you on many occasions. We've sat down, we've had some discussions, and I'm proud of each and every one of you. You're phenomenal leaders. And I know a few of you are going on to bigger and brighter things into college and universities. And so I wish you all the luck. And I know you're going to do Aurora real proud in those. And I know that goes for each and every one of you. So I'm looking forward to continuing to have conversations with whoever takes your places for those that are leaving, and to continue working with the ones that are going to continue on. So thank you for everything that you do. You're inspiring. And as was mentioned, I think by everyone sitting at this table, our future is very bright in the town of Aurora. And it's quite evident by tonight what we've seen. So thank you. I'll call the vote and then we'll do the picture. That carries. Delegations, we have two delegations. First up, Shawn Deane, resident, regarding items 8.51, 8.91, 8.10.1. Deane, welcome. You have 5 minutes. Floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to speak about everything budget, and I think from my last visit, there's some continuation, but I also am mindful of time, so I might start with my ask. I might not have, yes, there's too much to cover, but one tie-in, one of my asks was, as I've asked before, is to get more involved with the budget process, and all of our advisory committees on the town and have opportunities for the public to be a part, not the financial advisory committee. So I would love to everyone consider inviting a member of the public to the financial advisory committee. And I'm fine bringing some youth on. I've recently read that Guelph, the city of Guelph, engages the public with some of their programs, offers them the opportunity to budget for certain programs. Maybe youth can be a part of that as well and gain some experience. That's the great future of Aurora, and I'm all concerned about everything cost. And I've done a lot of reading, Mr. Mayor, since we met on August 8th, and my question was, can we lower taxes? He said we can lower cut costs or cut programs and raise user fees. And that's just one of the many expense items and ways we can reduce taxes. It's not the only way. And when I said I'm going to engage with finance and ask and learn some more, because I want to be a part of the solution. It says on the door there, kindness starts here. I want to be a part of the team. I have ideas. I have concerns. That's what's bringing me here. And my concerns, continue to grow with this economic time and everything I've read, the York Region budget and our budget, and including the recent survey. So when I inquired with finance about why can't we lower taxes, it's inflation. And this word is repeated every year, every budget survey. We just can't do anything about it. And inflation is real, but it doesn't hit every line item. And there's a lot of assumptions there. So I want to ask if we can get more clarity around the word inflation and cost when we use that, because there's the assumption that it's there, but we do zero-based budgeting, and it's a new year, and every line item is up 2%. And we don't define inflation. We don't measure it. We don't look back. We don't even need to use what we could do is look at our actual costs from the prior year. So in inflation, it sort of ends the conversation when you use that word. Sorry, inflation's real. We can't do anything about it. But what it doesn't say, and what it doesn't say in the survey, I wanted to look at revenue. So I asked about revenue and the quantities of all of our properties and commercial properties, et cetera. So then I find out we have $130 million in reserves. And every year we end with a surplus. It was 16 million, out of a $54 million budget in 2020, 16 million. In 2023, $54 million budget, 17 million left, and it goes right into reserves. So that decision, this is what this document says. So, I'm welcome to have clarification, but what I'm here to say is when you tell me we can't lower taxes, and I read that we have adding money surpluses every year that are greater than the 2% that you're asking for increase, it doesn't make sense to me. And it takes 10 years or more of at $10 million of surplus to build up a reserve war chest of $130 million. The $6.5 million that we made last year, the documents say you're putting $5 million of that back into reserves and 1.6 million of that towards the operating budget. And I just, I feel like I have to respond to open this conversation. Yes, we can keep taxes flat. We did it for about 8 years from 1992 to the year 2000. It's been, tested and proven. Aurora didn't crumble. Our roads didn't decay. So I don't want to, so that's my concern. And I want to, the risk that York Region and that we currently have in the budget concerns me. So everyone knows we're in a tariff war, and our budget survey wants to spend more and ask for new services. You're asking, how can we spend more money? We've just approved a debenture of $8.2 million for the gym. And I believe the gym only cost 11 million. So about 80% of it we finance for 20 years. We pay more interest for the first 10 years. So these are the things I'm reading, and I'm stonewalled because I want to understand why we can't keep taxes flat, why you're asking for more, and then you create debt. So we're creating debt. We're putting 17 million in surplus back in the bank. I didn't say keep the change, but every February or March, you say, yes, let's put the surpluses. You make a decision at a time of year when it's not relevant. I think in November, if you say, here, we have a surplus, what do we want to do? I want the change back. I don't want you keeping the change. I want it to lower my taxes. And I'm trying,
I just get you to wrap up.
So I have no confidence with what I read. And when you say we have to put taxes up, it's inflation. It doesn't jive with our reserves. It doesn't jive with the revenue, and it doesn't jive with creating a $15 million a year funding gap. Why are you budgeting for things we can't afford and still building a $60 million infrastructure and building a gym and creating debt for us for 20 years while you're saying we don't have money and we're concerned? You're creating more concern for me, and I don't understand it. And I want to, I don't know what's next. I'm going to continue, with this information, and I'm going to put in, if I will ask tomorrow for some data. Freedom of information requests are allowed to be asked. And they're factual when it's factual information. That's what I'm looking for. I'm displeased that there's it's just not quick, instantly offered. This is a click of the mouse. And maybe I have a million points, but I also asked for the budgets while I was reading them. They were pulled down off the website. Council asked, well, can we put them back on? And staff said, I'll look into it. So the organizational chart of the budget puts the residents at top, mayor, council, department directors, staff. And in the private sector, same here, the person at the top of the organizational chart is called the boss. And when you have a conversation with staff and ask for information in the private sector and you get the answer that I received, the conversation ends a little differently typically. So I don't know why we're not working together, why the information that was on the website, the old budgets, can't just be with a click of a mouse with all the money that we put in financial software and IT.
Mr. Deane, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up. I've given you a lot of leeway on this.
Yeah,
But I have to need you to wrap up.
I appreciate the extra time, and I just too many points in 5 minutes. And thank you, council, and I hope to work towards being a part of the solutions.
Thank you. Can you have a motion to receive? Councillor Gallo, Councillor Reese, Councillor Garner, question?
Through Mr. Mayor, I think it's admirable that you want to be so involved with the budget, and it's huge and it's complicated, and thank you for trying to understand it all. I do have to say a couple of things, though. The first thing was about inflation. And during COVID, as you know, inflation went really sky high. And our treasurer was able to keep it at the 1.99, although I'm sure it was much higher than that. I know it was much higher than that. The second thing that you said about the 8 years of zero tax increase, I wasn't on council then, but I felt the repercussions of that because I was on the council after 2003. And one year, the reserve funds were so drained by that 0% increase that we had to raise taxes 8% just to try and make sure the roads didn't crumble. And I can't say that we've actually succeeded. So 0% to me is, well, it was an experiment that worked well. But I thank you so much for your interest.
Councillor Gallo?
Thank you very much for coming and speaking today. I know that you had tried last time. We had some technical difficulties, so I appreciate you coming back here again. And I do like the fact that you came to council and had asked about this information. And, you know, I am a little disappointed here you haven't got that information as of yet, but I will follow up with staff and ask that we get that information to you. I really do appreciate that you do bring this perspective and you're holding council and the mayor's budget to account. And we should be looking at this in detail. So I really want you to continue to be a part of this process. And I hope more residents step up in the way that you do as well. So thank you.
Councillor Gallo?
Thank you, Mr. Deane, once again for coming and our conversations. What I just want to leave you with is the hope that you don't leave here thinking that your contribution isn't valuable or appreciated. You're very unique in the time you're spending on our budgets and our finance, and I cannot thank you enough for doing that. And I wish there was a lineup outside the door of residents that felt the way you feel. I will continue to help to the extent I can, but I just want to let you know that I hope you don't leave here thinking that you're not appreciated or the work that you're doing, the questions that you're asking are not helpful. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, Mr. Deane, thank you for coming this evening. Council will call a vote. That carries. Next one's not here. Okay. Next delegation is not available. Move to consent agenda. Someone want to move the consent agenda? Councillor Gallo, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Kim. Any comments, questions on the consent agenda? All the vote. That carries. No. Let's move to committee of the whole meeting report. So it's all number 8. Any items anyone wants to pull? Councillor Gallo.
8.21, just to have a vote on it.
8.21.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Weiss.
8.82.
Yeah. Any others? Councillor Thompson.
Sorry, 8.4.2 fence bylaw. and 8.9.2. Councillor Gallo's motion. Unless you were planning to pull it. No, well, if you're planning to pull it, you can pull it. Okay.
Councillor Gallo, you wanted to pull that one? Yours? Okay, thank you. Any others? You got a motion to approve all items with the exception of 8.2.1, 8.4.2, 8.8.2, and 8.9.2. Someone want to move that? Councillor Waste, thank you. Councillor Kim. All the vote. That carries. Move to 8.2.1. Councillor Gallo, you pulled this one. Did you want to move? Like that. There you go.
Yeah, I'll move the recommendations, which is basically to defer to the June 10th.
Okay.
There's just
let me just get a seconder.
Sure.
Second, Councillor Reese, thank you. Councillor Gallo, go ahead.
There's just two outstanding reports that I was looking to make public, and I know staff is looking into the viability of doing that. So there's no urgency for it. So move to defer to June 10th.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Call the vote. Carries. 8.4.2. Councillor Thompson, you pulled this one. Do you want to move it?
Something alternative that committee of the whole, we just moved it to receive it. And I'd actually like to put on the floor the alternative to the recommendation, which is to allow the request for the fence variance.
Seconder. Councillor Gallo. Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you. I know we've had conversations about it previously. I know Mr. Ray, he's not able to join us this evening, but did provide us with a little bit of information. And I understand the concerns with regards to precedents, but you know, having looked through the information, I'm not as overly concerned with setting precedents in this case. I think it's still a case by case basis that we look at these things. I'm comfortable with approving the variance.
Councillor Gallo.
I'm happy with that, and I'll support it. I just did want to have some staff input on. I don't know if Mr. Way is online. He is online.
Is Alex online, Linda?
Mr. Mayor, yes, I am. I'm here.
Councillor, ask your questions. I think he's listening. So
I
that's
just want to hear from staff if they're okay with
Okay.
the way we're proceeding.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if
Alex, can you hear us?
yes, I can.
Alex?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so did you want to answer that from Councillor Gallo?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if it's the wish of council to approve it, we would be okay with that. Just as noted in the staff report, the applicant would just have to submit an updated pool enclosure application because it would require an additional inspection as there's been a change to the original approved enclosure. But that's more of a formality and a small detail. So if council wishes to proceed with a alternative motion and approve the variance, then that's okay.
Councillor?
Good. Thank you.
That's good. Thank you. Councillor Gillen?
Thank you. I just kind of wanted to point out there was a delegate, Emily Newallo, a resident on this, and unfortunately, obviously wasn't able to attend for reasons that were not clear to us, but perhaps something happened. But I just wanted to let the public know that the delegation issues are on the agenda for the public to read. In specific, there is some clarity about the grading of the yard that, in my opinion, does make it clear that I don't have an issue with this ask for this variance because the grading is so extensive in this particular area. And as a result, I'm happy to support this this extra piece of privacy that's there.
Any other comments, questions? Call the vote. Councillor Weiss? Is it a yes? Councillor Weiss is a yes. That carries. 8.8.2, Councillor Weiss, you pulled this. Did you want to move it? Thank you. Seconder? Councillor Gillian, Councillor Weiss, go ahead.
Is through you to Mr. Ramuno. I'm just wondering about what conformity issues have been done over the last couple of weeks. I know with this application there were some discussions about color of the brick and the garage, et cetera. So have you and the applicant had more conversations about conforming to some of the standards in the Heritage District through you, Mayor?
Mr. Ramuno?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So since the preparation of the report between the Heritage Advisory Committee and the Committee of the Whole meeting, the applicant did provide some more enhanced renderings to demonstrate the color of the bricks. The scale and architectural style of the home hasn't changed. It's the two semi-detached units, but the brick color is it's a red antique brick color as presented in the staff report. So that has been refined since the Heritage Advisory Committee, and so it is staff's opinion that the design and the colors chosen are complementary to the Heritage District plan area.
Councillor?
And was the location of the garages discussed and just refused just because of site plan or something of that nature through you to Mr. Ramuno?
Certainly, through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I mean, the applicant, we did have another brief discussion about the idea of perhaps changing the design to detached garages. I mean, that was discussed even at the time the application went to the Heritage Advisory Committee, and it just wasn't something that the applicant thought it was feasible with respect to the design. So the design, the preference of the applicant is to proceed with the design as with the integrated garages. They are recessed, and that's the application that's submitted, and staff, based on the information that we have and as we've outlined in the report, feel it is a complementary design for the committee, for the district as well.
Yes.
Thank you. And the last thing, demolition of any of our buildings in the Heritage District is a big issue, of course. So in your opinion, the opinion of the engineering studies, that the demolition of the house is probably preferable just simply because of the repair of the home, through you to Mr. Ramuno?
Mr. Ramuno?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, that's correct. Based on the Heritage report that was submitted, the current home is in poor condition, so it needs to be demolished, and there's also nothing within the building that is really worth salvaging. However, there was discussion at the Committee of the Whole that the applicant is considering a commemorative plaque someplace on the lot as part of the building permit application. So it's something that we'll work with the applicant to come up with the proper wording of a future plaque.
Councillor?
Thanks, you. Nothing more.
Councillor Gillian?
Thank you. I just wanted a little bit of clarity on, I guess, the rendering and everything that we're approving tonight, because I did make some comments just really about the color palettes and so forth, and giving homage to the actual property itself, given the fact that it was a dairy shop or some homage to the dairy industry, and it was a white house. So it was a bit of a shocking difference with the brick. And if we are going to put an interpretive plaque of sorts, it was nice to have some sort of, I don't know, rendition that kind of mirrored that a little bit. And so I guess my question to you, through Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Ramuno, if the delegate wanted to utilize a different palette color that is provided in the district plan, buff or red brick. Is that something that could be decided after the fact?
Mr. Romero?
Through Mr. Mayor, yes, I mean, between the, heritage permit stage and building permit stage, there's always refinements with respect to materials and colors and shades and tones. Currently, based on my knowledge, is, the applicant wants to go with the antique red brick. He had some discussion with his daughter about perhaps going with a white brick or a buff colored brick.
Yeah.
Again, our district plan does identify red and buff colors as preferred in the district. So yeah, we can work with the applicant when they do come in with their final design panels and samples. And I think that's something that I have the opportunity through the delegation bylaw from council to deal with those minor changes in colors. Again, the architecture and the scale of the construction isn't going to change. There may be some slight variations in color, but we'll have to wait to see what those final samples are like.
Councillor?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to ensure that the applicant knew that there was not a hard limitation based on what we're approving today, and that we're obviously trying to make the best of the site plan application and obviously fitting into the heritage community, and hearing the comments from council and the neighbors and giving them the choices that they can beyond our decision today is very helpful. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Councillor Gardner?
Through Mr. Mayor to Mr. Ramuno. I think I remember from last time that we weren't sure that this was former dairy.
Mr.
Am
Romero?
I correct on that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So in that corner of town, yes, there was a dairy, whether it was located on this actual property being 10 to 12 Spruce Street. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed, but the applicant is willing to install a plaque with that to commemorate the dairy operation in that northeast corner of town.
Council?
Thank you, but I hope we're not going to say that this was the location of the dairy if we don't know. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Call the vote. That carries. 8.9.2, Councillor Gallo. Do you want to move it? Thank you. Seconder? Councillor Gallo. Go ahead, Councillor Gallo. Oh, one sec. Go ahead. Right. There you go. Oh.
Do I touch
There it
or
is.
don't I touch?
There it
Okay.
is.
I've taken upon myself to take a somewhat deep dive in our procedural bylaw, as you've seen in previous meetings, including this one before us. This is here because I believe there was some ambiguity in this section that I'm trying to fix. And also three main parts. The first one, probably the least important in basically asking that if the mayor calls a meeting, that obviously a majority of council needs to be consulted and confirmed their availability. That was added there. In 2, this section I really didn't like in our procedural bylaw, mainly because the timing of it. I don't believe it's in public interest for a majority of council to be able to call a meeting basically within 24 hours. If it's that urgent, then it should be done through the mayor's office and or staff. However, there should be an opportunity for the majority of council to call a meeting, and in this case, I've proposed 10 days, and where the clerk issues the notice 7 days prior to the meeting. And the last change, suggested change, is some clarity around voting and the ability to put motions on the floor. And I've clarified that it's a simple majority of council. And the rationale between that is any one of us, it wasn't clear how that could transpire.
And I wanted it to be clear, and the rationale behind that is that any one of us can put a notice of motion like this one, and a simple majority like tonight could pass this. So I didn't see why that shouldn't be the case, or at least provide clarity on how to vote at that special meeting, and the ability to put motions on the floor. So those are the three main areas that are changed from the original.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you. First off, I appreciate Councillor Gallo trying to bring some clarity to the section, and I support the motion in general. I just have one ask, really. You know, when you look at the intent, which is for a majority of council to bring forward a motion, well, we already have a process for notices of motion. And so I think that there needs to be some language included in here with respect to time sensitivity. If it can be dealt with through our normal process, which is the submission of a notice of motion and then dealing with it through council, then that should be the process. That's been established. And so I really think that whether it be the first part or the second part, there needs to be some language in there specific to the calling of a special council meeting to deal with a motion. It needs to be time sensitive. That's really the rationale behind it. So let's provide that further clarity and put it in there that be it the mayor or be it members of council who's putting this forward, they need to demonstrate this time sensitivity and the fact that it cannot be dealt with in the normal course of business that we do through our normal established processes. So I guess my request is really just to make an amendment that there needs to be an urgency demonstrated to be able to call that special meeting of council, and that it cannot be done through our regular meeting process. And I'll put for that as an amendment.
Seconder. Councillor Kemp. Any comments or questions to the amendment? Well, all right. I've just drafted. You can still have comments on it. Any comments or questions? Councillor Weiss?
Just, I'm trying to find out where the language has changed on this and before we vote on it. Is it in one and I just can't see it?
Well, we're not voting on it. I'm just
No?
asking if there's any comments or questions to what
Oh,
Councillor
right.
Thompson has asked for.
Thank you. I do have a question. Who decides on the urgency of it? That's my concern. I understand what urgency is, but pardon me? Leave it with the clerk. Okay.
I think Councillor? Yeah. One second. Sorry. Yeah. Councillor?
That's it. Just wanted to find out the definition of urgency and who makes the call. And I'd like to hear through you from the clerk whether that's the right direction to go.
Clerk.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think it's difficult when staff weigh in on things that could potentially be political. However, if it's the will of council for me to, it's always in consultation with, my boss, the director of corporate services / town solicitor, and the CAO. So, three of us taking a look at it and figuring out urgency and time sensitivity. But if that's the will of council, we will proceed as directed.
Sir.
Well, then my question is to Councillor Gallo about whether, since he's created this motion, whether he has a comment on the decision of the clerk and to be able to allow this from an urgency standpoint. So through you to.
Well, I think if Councillor Gallo wants to speak, we'll get to him, but.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone then. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Councillor Gallo?
I haven't had a lot of time to think about this, but Councillor Weiss brings a very good point. Who determines, the time sensitivity of, or who adjudicates that? I think it opens up another can of worms. And again, I haven't had much time to think about that, the pros and cons of that. So I won't be supporting this right now. Perhaps in the future, and we can put some time to think about it.
Councillor Thompson?
I think the test for the urgency is whether or not whatever that motion is can be satisfactorily dealt with through the normal process. If there's no time sensitivity to it and you can submit a notice of motion and we deal with it at committee of the whole and through council, then obviously there's no time sensitivity. There's no urgency. That's the litmus test. If you feel that there is an issue that needs to be addressed immediately, so within, I guess it has to be decided within 30 days, then so be it. Then call the special meeting. That's really just the litmus test. But if there's not that 30-day urgency to make that decision, then we can just follow our well-established normal process. Submit a notice of motion, go through the committee of the whole, and then have it at council. That's what we do, and we have done for many years.
Councillor Ken?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Mr. Clerk, what is the shortest amount of time that might be required before a notice of motion can be tabled for the next committee of the whole meeting?
Sorry, I'm just going to correct everyone. We don't have notices of motion. We have member motions.
Okay, so sorry, member motions.
Mr. Clerk?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Councillor, I don't know if I understand the question. Just the amount of time between what's like, there's deadlines in the procedure bylaw. Usually council, right now we would add a motion on a revised agenda on a Monday to be discussed at a committee of the whole meeting on a Tuesday to be finalized at council 2 weeks later. That would be it could happen. So that's probably the shortest timeline for a motion.
Yes, thank you. And that answers my question, because if you wanted to put in a member motion prior to the committee of the whole meeting, you would need 2 business days. Is that right?
Mr. Clerk?
Excuse me, Councillor, the deadline is actually the Wednesday at noon before the committee of the whole meeting. So you're looking at total amount of days, 20 between when it's submitted, but it doesn't become public yet. When it's submitted to me and when it's confirmed by council, usually under a normal schedule.
Councillor?
Sorry, it's been a while since I submitted a member motion. So what I'm trying to get at is, so you need 20 days. Councillor Gallo's motion is for 10 days. So we're looking at really just about 10 days difference. I do agree that passing this motion as is, any one of us could just put in a member motion just because, we want to. I suspect that we're more responsible than that, but just to protect us for ourselves, there should be some guidelines as to the sense of urgency. And, one recommendation, even though the clerk has already said that ideally it shouldn't rest with staff, but I'm not sure who else it could rest with, whether it be, 3 individuals like the clerk, the CAO, and the deputy clerk, or anyone else. That's fine, but I think it would be pretty clear in terms of, guidelines can be written in terms of, is there a pending transaction that is causing the urgency? So if there's a transaction, then then obviously the transaction is taking place pretty soon. Or is it a legal decision that needs to be discussed that's happening pretty soon? There has to be some kind of guidelines. I think that we could, that staff can probably bring back to council and say, here's what we consider as guidelines that can help narrow to make that decision as to whether this is time sensitive or not. It's just my thoughts.
Councillor Gardner?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't think I need clarification on this. I think it's true. So if a motion goes on at the beginning of the cycle, that's 30 days or 28 days or whatever it is for that motion to pass. Because it passed.
I think the clerk mentioned 20 days.
Well,
there's only 2
maybe
weeks.
Okay.
It's only 2 weeks between committee and council.
Depending upon the date of the first council. but the committee of the whole. But I see this as a respect to councillors or a councillor who has something that wants to go on the agenda, wants to get it on quickly, and has the support of 3 other members of council to bring it forward. I don't see. I'm in favor of this motion. I think it's fine the way it is. So obviously, I'd be voting against the amendment. Thank you.
Councillor Gallo?
Thank you. Just listening to everybody around the table, and Councillor Gardner, I think you kind of stepped on what I was about to say. It's just allowing the process to happen and respecting council's will to want to bring a member motion forward, which is, what we're elected to do, to bring member motions forward for the greater good of the town and making those decisions, and making it more difficult to put those forward when we feel that is some sense of urgency, which is a little bit the quicker call. That's why we call it a special council meeting, is I think essentially what Councillor Gallo's intent and motion is, and to allow that to happen. And if for some reason when it comes to council we have a discussion on this motion and it's deemed something that it feels like it's against the intent, then have that open discussion and allow the public to decide and fellow council mates to vote the way they wish. I mean, that's kind of the democratic process. So I feel it's very preliminary, the amendment right now. I think that's an amendment down the road to consider, but I mean, at this point, I think, we have to give ourselves opportunity to be able to put member motions forward for the greater good. And we have cut down on our council and our committee of the whole meetings, and have actually reduced the amount of opportunity to put motions forward. So I think this is just an addition to allow the greater good in the process forward, to get good policy enacted for the greater good of the community. So as it stands, I'll be in favor of the original motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none. I think we're allowed to put member motions at any time. And if we put it outside of the regular process, it's required by two-thirds vote to allow it to be put on an agenda. I think that I think, and I don't want to put words in Councillor Thompson's mouth, but what I'm understanding by the amendment is that that time sensitivity, if a motion cannot be dealt with through the regular process. So let's say there's some kind of legislation that we want to speak to, and we want a ratified motion before a time frame that something has to be put in, and it can't be done by the time we get to council to ratify it. That is the purpose of having a special council meeting. Otherwise, we would just follow the regular process. If we can get it in, ratified, and we can, whether it's sending a letter, whether it's asking, to do something or direct staff. And if we can do it through the regular process, we do it through the regular process. If council so wish to put a member motion during council, we would require 2/3 to allow that to occur. And we've done that many times. So I think that and Councillor Thompson, once again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're asking is that unless that time sensitivity is there and needed, we should just go through the regular process. I'll call the vote on the amendment. Defeated. Back to the main motion. Any other comments or questions? Call the vote. Carries. New business. Councillor Weiss. Councillor Gillan. Councillor Gardner. New business.
Me.
Well, you're gonna allow everyone. What's the new business?
Well, it's something, I'm wearing it. It's the Moose Hide campaign. It's grassroots, Indigenous-led movement by men and boys. And it's really standing up for respecting, honoring, and protecting women and children against violence, and also all those along the gender continuum. And I have one more, but I don't have it, so perhaps you'll come back to me.
Is it new business?
No,
Well, then how about we save it until next week?
it's about a concert that's happening. Physically and mentally challenged people are in choir, and I think it's on the 7th, so it's pretty tight for timing. If I could just give them a plug.
Does anyone, the staff, does anyone know which concert the councillor's speaking of?
Yes.
Linda? Pardon?
Voices of Joy. Thank you.
Voices of Joy. Okay. Voices of Joy, and that's June 7th, councillor? And do you know where it's?
If you would come back to me, I have everything.
Do you know where it is?
It's in Newmarket.
Oh, it's in Newmarket. Maybe that's why a lot of us don't know about it.
Well, but it's people from.
I know. We actually have, I think we donate to that one.
Do we? Because
Yes, we
they
do.
asked if
The mayor's office does.
Thank you, because they asked if we could.
Yep.
I'll
come back to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Thompson.
Not really new business, but I'll
Well,
say it anyways.
We've opened the door now, so go ahead.
I just want to pass along my congratulations to you, Mr. Mayor, for being the recipient of the Rob Ford Community Leadership Award.
Thank you.
I know that the town sent out a media release, but for those who don't know, it certainly was something that was bestowed upon you by the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Cities Initiative as our representative. And so kudos. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Gallo, new business?
Seeing how there's a crack in the door, this Sunday is the Chamber Street Fest. Obviously hope to see everyone there. And if you're walking just south of the library, please stop by. Ward 5 has we'll have a tent there, and I hope to see you all. Come by and say hello.
Okay. Councillor Cam, new business?
Through you, there is, the province is, I believe, tabling legislation which will include deferring DCs. Right now, municipalities don't know the full content of it, but it seems at the very least it may only include mid to high rises, not low rises. I understand that York Region is tabling a motion similar that will allow for DCs to be deferred, but for mid and high rises only. Through you to our treasurer, I believe this is a municipal decision that we can do to defer to ensure that projects get completed, without further delay. Do you have any thoughts in terms of any challenges that we might have if we move forward with deferral, including low rises?
Councillor, sorry, are you speaking of deferral, or are you speaking of the collection of DCs at occupancy?
It's not the same thing. A deferral of DCs, instead of paying at the application stage, paying it at the end of the project.
Okay. Yeah. Ms. Wainwright, I guess.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So we are still waiting to see what the final legislation and the regulations would say. What will happen is it will result in deferral of a number of DC collections. So the types of developments that would be impacted is going to have a different length of time. So for high-rise residential, it could be about a 4 to 5 year lag. Low-rise residential houses, rows could be in and around 18 to 24 months. It will impact our DC revenue collection. So right now, the region, I believe, is planning on bringing forward a report on their recommendations in June to their council meeting. And then we are actually planning our own report for the fall. I believe we're scheduled for September, which will address this plus the changing legislation and other matters specific to Aurora.
Councillor?
Yes, thank you for clarification in the comments. I'll wait until what the region states in June. Hopefully, it will their report will come in time. But my personal recommendation is to include low rises as well. It's just deferring DCs. It's not, we're not losing out on DCs. And so wait till June, and at the appropriate time, if needed, I'll put in a member motion for such. Thank you.
I believe that that bill is in second reading currently. And I think that they're pushing to have it reach royal assent before they leave for the summer. So, but then obviously we'll be waiting for regs. I think, yeah, so there'll be still some details to be done. Thank you. PSA or new business? I'm assuming PSA. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to say that this week is Accessibility Week. And I want to thank the mayor's office for the proclamation and for the staff for doing all the work that they're doing on accessibility. And tomorrow is Red Shirt Day. So if you want to show support for Accessibility Week, it's time to get the red shirt out.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you.
Councillor Gardner, did you have that yet? Or did you want me? Because I have it for you if you want. So the choir event is happening on June 7th at Bethel Community Church. This is a celebration of the choir composed of intellectually, physically challenged singers, and the entrance is free. Voices of Joy Community Choir. That good? Sure.
So there is a raffle. First of all, it's 333 Davis Drive. There's a raffle starting at 2:30, and I don't know, it's a free concert. Did you say that?
Entrance is free.
Entrance
I think for the singers. Correct. I don't know if or is entrance
no, it's
for that.
free for it's
Is
free.
it? Okay, sure.
But they have this raffle, and they're going to have art in it, and artisan quilts and free Rachel Ray cookbooks, and there's going to be all kinds of great stuff. And it is a great cause, and thank you very much for allowing that.
And I believe Aurora and Joanne Spitzer is heavily involved in that. Yes, I think she is. Yes, she's the one that reaches out to my office about it every year. So yes, we know. Yes, it's a great event, and if you can attend, absolutely.
I believe Asian Heritage Month. Yes, the clerk is shaking his head yes. So to acknowledge both of those and all the contributions that
Italian heritage, and it's also Italian heritage. June, yes, June's Italian heritage. Why? I mean, we're doing PSAs now, so we might as well just get them all out. Come on, it's Italian Heritage Month starting June.
Well,
it's Pride Month. Come on, keep them going, guys. Let's go. Let's get them all out.
It's really hard when you just have one meeting a month to remember.
All right.
So it's Jewish Heritage Month, Asian Heritage Month, and just to acknowledge all the contributions of really all the immigrants to Canada. We have these special months, celebrations.
Absolutely.
What are they?
We have a lot, and we celebrate all of them. We're very
Yeah,
diverse,
we should.
very
We're
diverse
lucky.
community, and we love it.
Sounds a little bit like the Prime Minister, Mr. Mayor. Anyway, okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bylaws. Someone like to move those bylaws? Councillor Thompson, Councillor Kim, any comments or questions on the bylaws? Call a vote. That carries. Confirming bylaw. Councillor Gardner, Councillor Weiss, all those in favor? Opposed, that carries. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Kim, Councillor Weiss, all those in favor? Opposed, that carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.